Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. And today, we need to talk about something that no Lakers fan wants to hear, news that has sent shockwaves through the franchise and across the entire NBA. We've just learned that LeBron James's knee injury is significantly worse than initially thought, and the implications of this diagnosis could alter the trajectory of not just the Lakers' upcoming season, but potentially the final chapter of LeBron's legendary career. For context, the Lakers' playoff hopes were dashed in a stunning first-round exit at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We all saw how the series unfolded. Young, athletic Wolves exploited matchups in the paint, crashed the boards, and left Los Angeles scrambling for answers. But what many didn't realize at the time was how much the Lakers were limping into Game 5. LeBron James, the ageless superstar, suffered a knee injury late in that contest, something that would have sidelined him in any subsequent elimination game. Initially, it was described as a sprained MCL, and team insiders hoped for a 4 to 6 week recovery. But on his podcast, Mind the Game, with Steve Nash, LeBron himself shed light on just how agonizing this injury has been. "When I woke up Thursday morning and tried to get out of bed," he grimaced, "I was like, holy CTT. And I called Doc right away. I said, I can't wait till Friday. I need to go today." That's LeBron James, waking up in excruciating pain, already plotting his return. But as we'll discuss, this isn't the typical wear and tear or nagging tendinitis that LeBron has managed for much of his career. This is something far more serious. According to team doctors and ESPN's Dave McMenamin, LeBron's MRI revealed a Grade 2 MCL sprain, meaning a partial tear of the medial collateral ligament in his left knee. A partial tear isn't a complete rupture, but it's more severe than a simple stretch. The recovery timeline for a Grade 2 sprain is typically 6 to 8 weeks, assuming no setbacks and aggressive but cautious rehabilitation. However, when you're talking about a 40-year-old athlete who has logged over 1,500 regular season games and nearly 300 playoff appearances, a knee injury of this magnitude takes on whole new dimensions. Consider this. LeBron has battled through numerous lower body issues over the past several seasons: calf strains, ankle sprains, and chronic knee arthritic changes. Yet, he has always found a way to power through, adjusting his training regimen, reducing his minutes, and employing advanced recovery techniques like cryotherapy, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, and even stem cell injections. But a Grade 2 MCL sprain is fundamentally different. It requires ligament healing, meaning that the knee has to regain structural stability in addition to muscular strength. For a player who relies on explosive first steps, lateral quickness, and the ability to absorb contact at the rim, this poses a massive risk. Now let's speculate on how this could shape LeBron's future. First, his decision on his $52.6 million player option for 2025 to 26 looms large. Traditionally, LeBron has opted in to maximize his leverage and legacy-building opportunities. But with such a significant injury, might he choose to decline effectively, retiring rather than returning to rehab camp at age 41? Could he pivot to a new role, perhaps as a player coach, mentor, or even a hybrid front office executive, rather than risk further damage? After all, he has already secured his place among the all-time greats. Another season, another ring chase is tempting, but at what cost to his long-term health and quality of life? Second, what does this mean for the Lakers' roster construction? Rob Pelinka and the front office must now grapple with the reality that LeBron may not be able to rejoin the team until well into the 2025-26 season, if at all. Do they proceed with their LeBron and Luka blueprint, banking on his late-season return to push them into title contention? Or do they pivot entirely, trading for a true franchise center who can anchor the defense and protect the paint in LeBron's absence? Names like Joel Embiid, Bam Adebayo, or even a reclamation project like Al Horford could enter the conversation. Yet, each of those options carries its own cost and risk, particularly given the Lakers' luxury tax situation. Third, what about the psychological impact? LeBron James is not just a basketball player, he's a mental fortress, a leader who lifts those around him. Teammates feed off his intensity, his insistence on accountability, his relentless pursuit of greatness. Without him on the court, does Anthony Davis need to become the de facto leader? Will he embrace that mantle? Or is there a risk that the Lakers' core could fracture without LeBron's guiding hand? And could this injury cast doubt in the minds of younger players like Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, or even lottery picks, who might question the franchise's direction if their veteran leader is sidelined? Finally, we have to consider the broader NBA landscape. The Western Conference is a bloodbath. Denver's dynamic duo of Jokic and Murray, OKC's rising Thunder, the Suns scrambling for answers, the Warriors hoping to reload around Curry and Thompson. If LeBron is out for half the season or decides to move on entirely, the balance of power shifts. Suddenly, the Lakers are not the default favorites. They become a team in transition. Teams like Dallas, led by Luka, or Minnesota, riding Anthony, Edwards' breakout star turn, seize the opportunity. And what of the league's marketing juggernaut? LeBron's absence from marquee matchups could dent TV ratings and social media buzz, forcing the NBA to scramble for other megastar narratives. All of this leads to one inescapable truth. The severity of LeBron James's knee injury is far worse than the Lakers, or any of us, could have anticipated. What was once a manageable sprain now threatens to reshape the twilight of his career and the very blueprint of the Lakers organization. And while we all hope for a miracle recovery, because if anyone can defy the odds, it's LeBron James, history tells us that knee ligaments in veteran athletes are no small matter. Stay tuned, Lakers fans, because the coming weeks will see LeBron's rehab progress scrutinized as closely as any game film. We'll get updates on his physical therapy, his on-court returns in minicamp drills, and every X-ray or MRI scan that could hint at his readiness. We'll also track the Lakers. Front office maneuvers. Will they stand pat? Or will they swing for the fences on an Embiid blockbuster? And most importantly, we'll watch as LeBron himself makes the toughest decision of his storied career. Whether to lace up once more, knowing full well that each season beyond 40 carries the risk of further injury, or to step away, secure in the knowledge that he gave everything he had to the game he loves. This isn't just a plot twist in the Lakers' narrative, it's potentially the final act in one of the greatest careers in sports history. And, as always, we'll be here to break down every development, every rumor, and every heartbeat in real time. So, don't go anywhere. Throughout this recovery period and into free agency, you'll want to stay locked to Lakers News Fan Report for the most reliable, up-to-the-minute coverage of LeBron James's future, and what it means for your beloved Lakers. If you've stuck with us this far, please hit that like button and subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update on LeBron's journey and how it reshapes the league. Now, let's explore what comes next once the initial shock of this diagnosis settles in. First, LeBron's timeline for return will dominate headlines. A Grade 2 MCL sprain typically requires 6 to 8 weeks before an athlete can resume full basketball activities. But that's for a fresh ligament in a younger body. In LeBron's case, at age 40, after thousands of grinding playoff minutes, doctors will likely extend a more cautious timetable. Could we realistically see him back on the floor before Christmas? Or will the front office choose to limit him to mere spot appearances down the stretch to ensure he's playoff ready? Every rumor of cortisone shots, platelet-rich plasma injections, or new experimental therapies will be dissected by fans hungry for good news. Next, consider the pressure on Rob Pelinka and company. With LeBron sidelined, their plans for the upcoming offseason take on new gravity. If James opts in for his player option, the Lakers have $52.6 million committed to him, constraining their ability to chase a top-tier center or wing. Should they explore a sign and trade for someone like Nick Claxton, offering Lakers such as Rui Hachimura and second-round picks, or swing for the fences on Jaren Jackson Jr., packaging expiring contracts and protected picks? And if LeBron's likely return won't be until late January or February, does it even make sense to mortgage the future for a short-term rent-a-player? The calculus changes when your franchise icon's availability is in doubt for half a season. There's also the thorny issue of LeBron's next contract decision. At 40, with a massive player option looming, will he choose to opt in and chase one more title? Or will this injury force him to retire, or at least step away for a full year to let his body heal? The optics of opting out could be brutal. Lakers. Land wakes up to $50 million of cap space, but without LeBron's star power, who wants to sign on? And if he opts in, using that $52.6 million, even while injured, Lakers fans will question the wisdom. Was it fair to hamstring the roster around an injured 40-year-old? Either way, the fallout from this one decision will set headlines ablaze. Now, let's imagine LeBron does return mid-season, looking like himself, explosive in short bursts, tearing laps for fast-break dunks and raining threes with his trademark precision. Could the Lakers still mount a title run? Their front court, led by Anthony Davis, would need to hold down the fort defensively, while role players like Austin Reeves, Max Christie, and D'Angelo Russell step up in his absence. If LeBron returns fresh for the playoff push, his veteran savvy could tip a tight series in LA's favor. But what if he's never quite 100%? What if a slight knee tweak slows him in round one and we see a replay of recent early exits? The margin for error shrinks dramatically when your MVP-caliber leader is compromised. Beyond the X's and O's, there's the emotional dimension. LeBron has always thrived on the narratives, the not enough rings storyline, the prove them wrong chip on his shoulder. After coming up short in these Lakers years, despite a championship in 2020, he's driven by the desire to headline Lakers lore alongside Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant. But this injury, one of the first truly serious on his watch, may force him to ask, is it worth it? Will he find renewed inspiration in a comeback tale? Or will he accept that time and body are undefeated opponents? For a player who has defied Mother Nature at every turn, this could be the final invincible challenge. Imagine the summer headlines. LeBron James, 40, opts out to heal knee, eyes 2026 comeback. Or LeBron James returns on Valentine's Day, sparks Lakers title hopes. Either narrative carries its own drama, and meanwhile, in Lakers war rooms, contingency plans multiply. Do you pivot fully to a youth movement around your draft picks? Do you swing for a high-profile free agent, like Kawhi Leonard hoping to salvage a season? Or do you simply hunker down, pray for health, and rely on a core of Davis, Reeves, and whatever makes it through the gauntlet of buyouts and mid-season trades? Finally, let's not lose sight of the fan perspective and the financial stakes. Lakers season tickets don't sell themselves. The franchise thrives on gate receipts and TV ratings fueled by LeBron's presence. If he's out, will fans still pack Crypto.com Arena? Or will empty seats become an early indicator of fraying patience? And what about the business deals? Nike campaigns, media partnerships, global marketing tours. LeBron is more than a player. He's an icon whose image carries billions in brand value. Any prolonged absence is a strike against the Lakers' bottom line, yet another factor Pelinka and Jeannie Buss must weigh in the coming weeks. So, as LeBron enters rehabilitation mode, we'll be monitoring every milestone. His first non-contact sprint, his initial jump after weeks of sideline watching, the day he enters the locker room to applause at practice. And we'll track every roster move, every rumor of a blockbuster trade, every buyout signing, every late-night phone call in the Pelinka war room. Because in this moment, nothing matters more than LeBron James's knee, nor the indomitable spirit and leadership he brings. With that, we'll wrap up our deep dive for today. But make no mistake, this story is just beginning. We'll have full coverage of LeBron's rehab, front office maneuvering, and the ripple effects across the NBA. Stay tuned to Lakers News Fan Report, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join us as we chronicle possibly the most pivotal offseason in Lakers history. Until next time, stay strong, stay passionate, and stay true to the purple and gold.